we are back for Bishops versus, I believe, Ascension. And I just can't wait to get this one underway. We got Psycho here along with me. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, and I can't wait for this matchup. It's gonna be insane, and I just can't wait to see it all go down.
I'm ready. I'm ready to see what's going on. I like watching leagues that are above where I play at. So, I like being able to see that high level gameplay thing. Gives me something to shoot for, something to aspire to.
Definitely, and these teams should be a good matchup. We got the Bishops who lost on Wednesday, I believe, to I think Dissolved, who are really a solid team. So not much of a bad loss there because Dissolved are extremely solid team. So I think they can still bounce back here. And Ascension, 2 All-Stars on the team, I believe. So it should be a great matchup, and I just can't wait to see it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I feel the same. I know I've seen Clamps in some of the bi-weeklies, and I've seen him go pretty hard. I've heard Merely's name around a lot, but I don't think that I've ever had the chance to see him play. And Skies, I've seen around. I've seen him do some pretty good stuff. I don't know what it is about the guys named Skies, but they tend to be a little bit better.
Yeah, as the co-president of the Skies fan club, I can definitely say, Skies, the name Skies is definitely a solid name to have.
I'm gonna change my name.
The Skies fan club. You love to see it, and I think we have everyone in here and ready, so we're gonna get these guys joined up here, and it should be a great one today. Yeah, and here we go. Game number 1 in this series, Bishops versus Ascension. And we got here King Muff winning the kickoff on this one. Trying to send it mid, but can't get the touch on it. Clamps. Gonna get a touch, but it's just gonna be sent out by Merely there. Jaeger gonna get a touch on it, but it's gonna be sent out by Clamps. And right now we just got these teams. We're not far into the game yet, but they're both just kind of feeling each other out right now, just going back and forth. And now Merely trying to find a touch, and actually it's gonna go out mid, and that's a great shot there by Clamps. Great early shot.
Yeah, nice little touch coming out. Unfortunate miss for Merely, but King Muff got that nice little touch that put it straight center for Clamps, and Clamps was able to just slam it in.
Yeah, it's a great shot there by Clamps. So early on in the game as well, that's got to give him a big boost there. And now Clamps trying to do more. Get the touch on that one, but it's just going to be sent out by Skies. And now King Muff trying to get it mid. It's actually going to be nearly a shot there by Spork, but it's going to be sent down the field. And that might be a goal there for Ascension, tying it up here in game 1.
No, he had looked like an unfortunate miss rotation. Oh, looked like Clamps had missed his. Didn't realize he was last man back maybe, and just missed his challenge. Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's unfortunate play there for Bishops, but that's a good play there by Ascension, just claying it down the field so early on, tying this game up. Not looking to be in a deficit far into this game 1. And now King Muff gonna try to send it out, but that's a great touch there by Merely. It's gonna drop down. Sky's trying to take a shot, but she's gonna send it out to his teammate. Spork gonna clear it down. Merely has to find a touch. It's gonna go out, and King Muff trying to find it, but couldn't, as Bishops have some sustained pressure right now. Spork sending out mid, but no one there. All 3 players on the Bishops were in the corner over there. And now Spork sending up, trying to get another touch on as well. And now it's going to be sent out to the midfield here. Both teams just trying to find some pressure right now, but Bishops seem to be controlling with most of it. And now Clamps trying to get a shot there, but it's going to be sent out once again. Skies now trying to take a shot, and that's going to be a shot by Skies and a goal. Great shot there.
Great shot coming out from Skies. Hey, that's what we were talking about earlier. The name is going to come with plays. And it looked like one of the Bishops was back far enough, but he just didn't react fast enough to quite get the clear that he needed.
Yeah, definitely. And as we get halfway through this game 1 here, what do you think the Bishops need to do to get another goal here?
The Bishops definitely going to need to find a goal and clean up their rotations a little bit, because you know they've got quite a good amount of pressure coming out, but they just can't find the back of the net. As we're talking about that, they hit crossbar and show exactly what I'm talking about. But I think if they are able to just find one more back of the net and clean up their rotations a little bit on defense, that they'll be back in this game.
Yeah, definitely. I think Bishops, they have some really solid pressure and just not capitalizing off their opportunities. And also Ascension, they're doing really well under this pressure as well. Now it's gonna go off the crossbar, but it's just gonna be sent out as King Muff trying to keep the pressure up. And yeah, as I was saying, is Ascension not really panicking much, doing well under the pressure, and now they just are, you know, great defensive rotations as well. And here's Merely trying to get it mid, but it's gonna be sent out, and that's just great rotations here by Ascension right now. Not really committing too hard, not, you know, staying back far. I mean, that's just great there by Ascension so early on, and now they have a 2-goal lead.
What a beautiful shot coming out from Merely, able to get up there and get that. None of the Ascension guys were back. I know I seen one demo come out. I didn't see who got demoed, but I'm sure that threw a little wrench into their rotations.
Yeah, definitely. And now Bishops down by 2. Even though they had the majority of the pressure this game, I think Bishops, they just didn't do enough. And now Clamps gonna send into the back of his own net. That's very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate indeed. I gotta wonder if the Bishops might have seen some latency issues here. It looks like King Muff is asking for a new server after this game. But they're definitely getting hammered right now. They're going to need to pick it up with only a minute left. They got little time left.
No, yeah, they need something right now if they want to have a chance in this game 1, but it's not really looking like they have much to show. And King Muff trying to do his best, but as I keep saying, Ascension with just great defensive rotations, and they're not letting anything into the back of the net here. And Merely gonna send it out again. It's a great clear there, and about 30 seconds left. Ascension look like they have this in the bag, and Bishops just need to work on what they can do next game.
I agree. Yeah, they're gonna need to bring a little bit more fire into the game 2, because I think that Ascension's definitely is starting to understand that they can, you know, control the pace of the match right now.
Definitely, I think Ascension, they control all this right now. They might have been under a ton of pressure, but they played well under it and had little mistakes and only conceded 1 goal in that entire game.
They definitely did a great job. Sky's coming out with 4 saves. That's huge. Defensive powerhouse. You know, the Bishops, not for not trying, they definitely put some shots on net. They definitely applied the pressure that they needed to, but they just weren't able to convert.
Yeah, now we're gonna get a server reset here, but we're gonna look to continue this series. And now going into game 2, the Bishops just need to change it up a little bit, and hopefully they can, so we can have a more competitive series.
Most definitely. And correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Ascension have a really bad record? Didn't they have a not very good season?
Yeah, they
Or am I?
they I mean, they ended up being the 5 seed. I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
sure
So
about
it's not
their
terrible then.
exact record, but they end up being the 5 seed, and um, here, let's see it now. I think they have a 10-8 record, so they're not
Oh,
doing
that's
bad
not
for themselves.
terrible. Nah, I'm probably thinking of a different team.
They're not doing bad for themselves at all, and Ascension just looking to prove themselves here. Both teams have a ton to prove. You know, Bishops after that loss just trying to prove that they're not a bad team, and Ascension looking to prove themselves as the 5 seed going into this playoffs.
Is this loss going to be an elimination for either of these teams?
Yeah, so whoever loses is out, and the winner will move on to the semis. So
Okay.
this is a very
So,
intense
yeah,
matchup for both
a
of these
lot on the
teams.
line.
Yeah, and here's Clamps trying to get some pressure. It's actually gonna get on to the net there, and merely actually missing. That's gonna relieve a lot of pressure now. Now everyone's missing on the Ascension side. Now, yeah, you're trying to get a touch on it, but it's gonna be sent out. Now, this guy's trying to get a touch and trying to send over to Merely, but couldn't do it. And that's is that gonna be an own goal? Actually, Spork basically saved that. I have no idea what's going on right now. This is just chaos here in the first 45 seconds, and I don't really know what else to say.
Definitely a lot of chaos coming out right now. A couple of lucky touches that were fortunate to stop, some shots on net and stuff like that. But definitely, it seemed like there was a lot of panic coming out of both teams right there.
Yeah, both teams very panicky, just missing a ton of balls right now. And maybe these playoff nerves probably, they know if they lose they're done for. So these playoffs nerves probably come into effect right about now.
Most definitely.
Definitely for Bishops as well, being down a game.
Yeah, it's a really rough spot to be in, being down a game, knowing that you gotta really turn it on, especially if you're going up against somebody that you haven't had so much luck with throughout the season.
Yeah, definitely. Now that's a shot by Spork, but it's gonna be saved out by Jaeger, as it's gonna be sent out of the Ascension half. Clamps trying to keep some pressure, but Jaeger's gonna send over to Merely. Merely trying to get a mid, and he does, but no one there from Ascension to take the shot. This guy's just gonna send it back out mid, and Jaeger trying to take a shot, but it's gonna be there. And now Merely with the shot. That's a great shot there by Merely.
Really, really good shot. Good passes coming out from the whole team, just keeping it bouncing off the backboard. See the double come out coming from King Muff and Sport, which left it wide open for Merely to be able to just chip an easy shot.
Yeah, that was a great shot by Merely there. Just sending it to the top of the net. No, realizing that no one was there. And now they got the 1-goal lead. I'm gonna take this series. Gonna try to make it 2-0. And King Muff says no to that one. He's gonna send it out. Clamps trying to follow it up, but it's gonna be sent out by Jaeger. Gonna get a touch on it over to Skies. Skies keeping possession right now, as Spork trying to get a touch on it as well, but merely keeping up the pressure for Ascension. And now Merely gonna get a touch on it. I send it over, but Ascension playing pretty passive right now with this 1-goal lead. And now King Muff taking a shot, but it's gonna be sent out by Merely over to Skies. Skies putting off the backboard. Merely just getting a touch on it. Not really much with it though, and Sky's gonna get a team bump there. He's gonna have to bail out his teammate after that bump. Merely
Definitely seeing a lot of midfield struggle come out in this game. Seems like neither team can really get any sort of offensive pressure going before the other team just gets it cleared.
Yeah, definitely. I think both these teams pretty even right now, in my opinion. Just Ascension with the 1-goal lead, and now they're playing pretty passively. And I mean, I say passively, but at the same time, somehow they're playing passive, but with a ton of pressure, and that's gonna be a shot on net merely with the 2nd goal of the game.
And you say passive, and maybe they're just playing smart. Maybe they know they've got the flow of this game. All they have to do is wait and let Bishop panic and make the mistakes, and then capitalize like what we just saw.
Yeah, I mean, I said passive, and somehow, I don't know how, but they're playing. I see them push up with one player, and then the 2nd player is just never there to capitalize. But
right.
In that sense, they're playing passive, but at the same time, they're just keeping a ton of pressure on the Bishops right now. Their defense is just too solid for the Bishops. This guy's sending it down and really trying to take a shot, and that's going to be another shot there as Jaeger puts it off the crossbar, hitting all the woodwork there. And this guy's trying to send it out, and now Merely does. About 30 seconds left. It's looking to be all but over as Bishops, not a single goal this game. And now it looks like Ascension is going to be taking a 2-0 lead in this series. That's a shot. That was a great goal as well.
Yeah, nice play coming out right there from Ascension. Skies with a beautiful pass, and then excuse me, Jaeger's just there to clean it up.
Yeah, no, Ascension looking like really solid right now. I think this might be the team to beat going into next week if they end up advancing. As Ascension somehow, like I keep saying this, but they're somehow playing passive while keeping pressure, and it's just a great way to play.
I agree. It's sort of, they got a slow flow going on. You know, they're not necessarily worried about being the fastest person to the ball or anything like that. They're going to try and take control of it and be logical and methodical with their plays.
Yeah, definitely. Ascension now won each game by 3 goals, so very dominant here by Ascension. And they're just playing extremely smart right now. I don't see Bishops coming back in this series right now.
Yeah, they're definitely going to need to turn it up. Otherwise, we might be possibly looking at another sweep. And I know we've had some playoff games that haven't been sweeps, but I feel like we've had a lot of swept playoff games.
Yeah, we had 4 sweeps on Wednesday, so sweeps are definitely not the way to go. I say 4. Did I say 4 sweeps or I say 3?
I think you said 4. There was 3.
Yeah, there was 3. There was 3 sweeps. And
yeah, because the Titan game wasn't a sweep, right?
Yeah, that was an insane game, that Titan game. And
yeah.
Now Ascension nearly getting scored on here, and it looks like they are. Bishop's first goal since game 1.
Bishop's looking to make a comeback right now. They know that this Game 3 is one of the integral games. This is a make-or-break situation for them. Sky's up and in the right place, but just barely not able to make the save.
Yeah, now Bishops, they really need this game here, or they're probably down now in the series, because being down 0-3 is just hell. There's no way to come back from that. It's, if they even tried it, I'd say they'd probably get 1 game, but that'd be about it.
It's pretty demoralizing to be down 3-0. I know how it feels. And King Muff coming in, he's ready. He says they're not going to get 3-0 on us. We're going to go ahead and take it back right now. Bringing in a lot of pressure. He's playing a lot faster than I think what the Ascension is ready for.
Yeah, I think Ascension right now, being scored on twice so early on, I think they've kind of, let go of the gas a little bit. I think Ascension, they've been playing so solid defense, and now they're just kind of making really easy touches that they should be making, and they're just not getting them right now. And now Sky's trying to change that up, but just gets the The lightest touch of the century right there. And now merely trying to do something. That's a demo by Jaeger. Trying to get a shot. That's nearly going to be a shot on net, but it's going to be sent out by actually Ascension, just clearing it out of the Bishop's half himself. And now Spork sending it down. Not taking a shot on net, but just kind of sending it down. They have the two-goal cushion right now, so they can, if they can just play defense, they'll be good.
Definitely. Try not to make any defensive mistakes and just play slow and control the ball. You know, you're approaching the midway point of this game, and a lot can happen in 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, is there Spork having to make a goal line save right there. I think this is where the Ascension passiveness kind of backfires, because I think if they were being a bit more aggressive there, they probably could have scored that, but Spork just kind of had the ball on the goal line for a few seconds there, and Ascension didn't really do anything about it. They just kind of let him do it. And now Jaeger sent out to Merely. That's nearly a shot there by Merely. Nearly. As Jaeger gonna send it back in. But it's gonna be great defense there by Clamps. Just doing all he can. Clamps, we heard his name in the regular season a bunch. The few times he was on stream, he played extremely well. And yeah, so I think he's definitely the difference maker for Bishops to try to come back in the series. As I'm just kind of panicking on the goal line here for Ascension. 2-goal lead still here for the Bishops. And they're just holding on to right now. They don't really care about a third goal. As actually, they're going to try to get one right here. And a double tap there by Clamps, as I called him out earlier, and that's a great double tap.
What a good shot coming out from Clamps. Able to get it past the defender, self-pass it to the backboard double tap. That was absolutely beautiful. And Ascension, unfortunately, I guess it was a little bit too awkward for them to be able to make a clearing touch.
Yeah, now, as I was talking about earlier, Ascension just not playing as good defense as they were earlier in the series. They really need to go back on that gas, as they've been kind of stepping off it. And now it's looking to be a 4th goal here for Bishops. Just looking to dominate this game 3. And by the way this is looking, we're not going to see another sweep.
Well, that's a good thing, because we need the content.
Yeah, definitely. As Bagels likes to say, give me the content. And now Clamps. Kind of clear, but Sport clears it up for him. And now Merely trying to take a shot. But as you know, that's the story of the game. Just not able to find anything here for Ascension. And now 30 seconds left. They need something right now, but it's not looking like it's going to happen. And now Spork with a great clear. And about 15 seconds left. King Muff going to send it down, cleared out by Skies. And now Jaeger just going to send it down. 10 seconds left. And it's looking like that's going to be the game. Maybe a 4th here, but it's just going to go off the crossbar. And that's going to be the game here. Bishops will try to come back in this series.
Definitely a good performance from Bishops right there. That's exactly what they needed to turn this momentum around. 10 shots coming out from Bishop. Wow, they really applied a lot of pressure that game. And they had 5 saves, you know. Ascension was there. They had a lot of pressure and a lot of shots, but Bishops were consistently beating them to the ball. They were making the saves that they needed to make. And like you were saying earlier, I think that sort of passive or non-aggressive play style really bit them in the butt here, because Bishops were able to play a lot faster than they did the first 2 games.
Yeah, definitely. I think Ascension really they had a ton of pressure, at some points, and then just didn't capitalize off it. I think it's mainly a solo player just going up by themselves, trying to create some pressure, and then now they got some pressure, maybe take a shot or two, but after that, just nothing, no follow-up, and they really need to change it up if they, want to prevent Bishops from coming back in the series. And now, here in Urban Central in Game 4, the Bishops looking to tie the series up, and Ascension trying to prevent him from doing so. But that's a shot on by Spork. That's a great shot, and it was a miss off the backboard as well.
Bishops looking to carry their momentum from Game 3 into Game 4. They're not willing to let another game go to Ascension because they know that they need to just keep it up. Really nice backboard play going off right there.
Yeah, definitely. I think Ascension, that backboard, they just need to guard that better, I think. Those were just a couple of misses out, and then easy shot there by Spork to capitalize. And now Bishops looking like they're going to come back in this series here. Going to tie it up 2-2, but still a ton of Game 4 to play. Because now this guy's just going to send it out. Maybe they can get back to the great defense, but they also need a goal as well. We saw last game when they were in this position, needing a goal. They didn't really do well. They just kept their play style and kept playing passive, which is not what they needed at the time. And now they need to score a goal again, and they're really trying. As it's gonna be sent out by King Muff. Merely gonna send it, as Jaeger's gonna have to make a touch, and he does, but it's a light one. It's gonna be a shot on net. Great touch there by Merely off the backboard. It's gonna be nearly a shot on net, as Clamps trying to take a shot, but it's gonna go slightly to the left there. As now Skies finds a touch. It's gonna be sent down. Merely trying to take a shot. It's gonna be there, but cleared out by Spork. Skies sending it back in. King Muff gonna send it out. Clamps with the follow-up, trying to get it back mid. Jaeger trying to get the clear out, but Spork keeps it in. He's gonna get a touch over to Skies. Skies trying to find a touch, but merely trying to get a clear out, but King Muff, that's a great shot in by him.
Bishop's really turning it out. Spork with a really nice touch near the ceiling right there, putting it off the backboard, getting it past the defenders. So King Muff that was an easy goal for him. And we got to really wonder what's happening with Ascension. It seems almost like they're starting to fall apart. The solid defense that they had in the first two games is not as solid as it was.
Yeah, you're definitely right. I think they have Parallax and spectating with them. So they could potentially sub him in here. But I think they're holding off last game because they thought maybe it was a fluke game. They could come back in this one. But as it's looking like Bishop's probably going to tie this up 2-2. So they might be putting in Parallax in this one.
Now, is Parallax their sub, or do they have their sub in currently?
I think they currently have in their sub with Jaeger.
Oh, okay. Is Jaeger their sub? Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit of roster mind game coming out there, trying to sort of feel out the competition, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I also think Parallax was also just a little bit late to this one. I think he had something else to do right before this.
It's understandable.
Yeah, and looking like he might be coming in this one now, as Jaeger trying to do something with it, but not really doing much right now. Is about a minute 30 left. Ascension needs something right now, but not looking like they can. That's gonna be sent out. Merely gonna go back post, and Now he's gonna get bumped out there, having to jump. Couldn't take another shot. Now Clamp's just taking all the time he can. Gonna follow it up as well. Great 50 on Merely there. Jaeger gonna be last back. Gonna have to make a touch, and he does, but gonna be sent out straight to the Bishop. Spork gonna take a shot, and that's a great shot there by Spork. 3-goal lead now by Bishops.
What a clanger coming out from Spork. Midfield, Merely, looked like it was just a little bit too awkward. He tried for it, and he was actually pretty close, but unable to make the clear.
Yeah, now looking like we're gonna continue the 3-goal win streak, as I think Ascension first 2 games won by 3, and now Bishops looking like they're gonna win by 3 in both these games as well.
We're always gonna have some sort of pattern if it's not just complete sweeps.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is the pattern we're seeing, but hopefully maybe we can get to a game 7 and have a close game 7 in that pattern. As now Clamps trying to get a 4th. Gets it over 1, but Merely sending it out over to Jaeger. Jaeger gonna touch it back to Merely. Now Merely back to Jaeger. Good passing play there to get a clear out. But not gonna do much as 5 seconds left. Bishops looking like they're gonna take this game here, and they're gonna tie up the series.
Solid performance coming out there from Bishops, just completely blowing out Ascension. It's unfortunate. You hate to see it. Ascension played really, really strong those first 2 games. So, maybe like you were saying, we'll see Parallax come in and, see what kind of changes can be made. But Ascension's definitely, lagging behind a little bit. They probably felt a little bit of a disadvantage at this point just because losing 2 back-to-back and getting blown out, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, definitely. I think Ascension probably down right now. I think they can get probably a bit re-energized if they sub in Jaeger. Feel like they have something new to look forward to, and try it out. As they're probably talking right now because one of them hasn't ready up, so they're probably talking to see what they want to do.
Yeah, Bishop's coming with both teams actually coming with 6 shots. That was, even though it was a 3-0, it seems like the pressure was there for Ascension. They weren't able to make the saves that they needed to make. Bishop's pulling down a solid 4 saves.
No, yeah, I think as I was talking about earlier, Ascension, they kind of send one player up, and then get some pressure, take a couple shots, but that's about it. Can't get another player to follow up, and now we see Parallax coming in for Jaeger. That's probably gonna be the last of him we're gonna see this series, and see what Ascension can do. And now, very early on, that's a great pass over by Merely, and a great shot by Parallax. That duo coming in.
Okay, I guess we see that was the missing chemistry right there. Parallax was able to beautifully get up there and catch that cross coming from Merely. That was a great play.
Yeah, these guys, Parallax and Merely, they're the two that, they're a great duo. I think look at them to be the scoring, because, I've played in Rival, and I've actually seen them come up and play with Austin for Rival, and they actually carry Rockerman a little bit, so
feels bad, man.
Yeah, in our series they kind of carried Rockerman, so kind of tough for Austin, but they performed really well for challenger players.
There you go. I guess it can't feel that bad considering they're his players and everything, but
yeah, now Parallax just gonna send it out. It's also, I think what we saw earlier from Jaeger was when he was last back just clearing the ball out. I think he got a bit too light touches. I think Maybe he's trying for the light touches a little bit to keep possession, but at the same time, they just weren't enough. And now merely, that's a great touch and a great goal as well.
Merely able to control the ball, get it past double commit coming out from Bishops there. And we're really seeing, Ascension back to the way that they were those first 2 games, picking up the speed, playing even more aggressively than they were, if I do say so.
Yeah, definitely. Ascension playing a ton better now with the sub-in of Parallax, and now merely trying to make it 3 as Spork sends it up. Sky's gonna have to make a touch, and he does. Parallax also gonna get a touch. That's also a great touch out. I think that's the difference between Parallax and Jaeger. I think Parallax can make those touches, but Jaeger might be a bit slacking in that area of, those clears.
Right, and that's probably why he's a sub, Everybody's, Challenger's still pretty low in the grand scheme of things, we're gonna see a lot more mistakes come out, like that one right there from Merely, who is, like we've been talking about, a good player, but made a pretty simple mistake right there on should have been able to get that ball cleared.
Yeah, definitely. I think Challenger still relatively low, but Parallax coming in playing relatively high for Challenger. And now we see Merely finding a touch off the backboard, air dribble off the backboard actually. Clamps trying to take a shot, trying to tie this game up. And now Skies sending it out, trying to follow it up, but it's going to be touched up by Spork. Actually backflips, that's going to go off the crossbar. Merely with a great touch out. Skies trying to follow this up, but going to be sent out by King Muv. Parallax sends it down. Clamps trying to do something with it, but Merely going to cut it off. Now Parallax having to make a touch, and he does. 50's King Muff. He's going to 50 Spork as well and actually win it. But Clamp's going to send it back in. Now Merely trying to find another one here. Getting another touch over King Muff. Just baiting him out and getting a touch. And now Clamp's going to have to find a clear out. And Merely with the great cutoff. This guy's trying to take a shot. And that's going to go top right bins. That's a great shot there by Skies.
Some really nice pressure coming out. Merely able to get that nice soft touch in the midfield that just left it perfectly set up for Skies. And we're seeing a lot of, seems like, defensive rotation confusion come out from the Bishops right now. They're not seeming to be able to keep up with the offensive pressure that Ascension's laying down.
Yeah, definitely nearly own goal there by Merely, as now Spork trying to send it on, and that's going to be a shot there by Clamps and a goal. Now only a 1-goal deficit.
And I'll just go ahead and put my foot directly into my mouth. They must have heard that and said, "Oh, okay, Caster, we're going to show you." They brought the pressure. They were able to get a nice backboard pass and put it in for an easy goal.
Yeah, now Ascension only a 1-goal lead, but still think they got, a solid lead here and pressure, because I think Ascension's just kind of had the advantage this entire game off the very start from that first goal by Parallax, and I still think they have the advantage, only being up by 1. And now,
oh yeah, they definitely do. The Bishops are going to have to really just keep up the pressure, and they're going to need to be able to find the back of the net too. We've seen so far in this series that they can keep up pressure and not be able to find the back of the net and lose because of that. So they're going to really need to kick up their accuracy.
Yeah, now nearly a shot there on net as Ascension trying to find a 4th. Trying to make a 2-goal lead, but couldn't. And now Bishops trying to send this game into overtime. About 20 seconds left. They need a goal right here. This Clamps trying to do something now. Spork couldn't find the touch, but King Muff's going to have it. Going to try to put it back mid. It's going to go up. Bump there. Nearly a shot there by Clamps. He's going to try Skies. Going to send it out. And now 1 second left. Still in the air. They're gonna have to keep it up. Clamps does. But it's gonna hit the ground, and Ascension, they're gonna take the series lead. 3-2.
Good game right there. Close game coming out. Both teams played really nice, really high level. Both teams took 6 shots. Bishops, even though they lost, they were able to pull down 2 more saves than Ascension were. So, that kind of shows you that they were playing a little bit slower, a little bit more defensively, a little bit more scary. And Ascension came back to that level that we saw in the first 2 games where they're running the show and they're predicting the flow of what's going on.
Yeah, definitely Ascension playing a ton better this game. Ascension just, with Parallax coming in, I think they feel a ton better with their starting lineup, and just a ton more confident in their plays.
I agree. Fully, wholeheartedly.
Yeah, now series scores 3-2. Looking for Bishops to come back in this one. Force a game 7 here and send us to Champions Field for a game 7 that determines whether you move on to the semis or are eliminated. So, but
I would definitely love to see a game 7 here.
yeah, but Ascension just trying to win it here and now. Here in game 6, on Forbidden Temple. Ascension, I'm gonna take it, and now merely touching it, but it's gonna be sent out by the Bishops as Clamps touching it, but that's a great clear up by Skies. Is now Parallax trying to find a touch, but it's actually just gonna roll in somehow. Somehow Skies is gonna get the credit for that one. I have no idea how that went in.
Really unfortunate play coming out right there. Nice big long clear, but we see the big whiff coming out of Spork there. He really needed that touch to get that clear.
Yeah, is now Ascension up 1-0 here, looking to take the series here and now. But still a ton of time left in this game for Bishops to come back. And they look like they have a chance here, but it's going to be sent up by Merely. Almost a shot there, but gets demoed by King Muff. As Spork going to touch it. But Sky's put off the backboard. Merely trying to find a shot, but it's going to be sent out. Now Clamps 1-on-1 versus Parallax. Parallax trying to send it out, and he does. Spork trying to put him mid. But King Muff gets a touch on it, and now Clamps. That's a great shot by him, and we're tied up in this game 6.
Beautiful pass coming out from King Muff. Beautiful pass from Sport too, coming from the backfield, and then King Muff being able to, read that and get a nice touch and put it center for his teammate.
That was a great shot there by Clamps, and also a great pass as well. King Muff, probably one of the best passes I've seen so far in this series. But they're gonna need some more here if they want to take this series and this game 6. Is now Skies sending it down, gonna demo Spork. Now Merely trying to find something here, but Parallax is gonna have it. Parallax actually leaves it for Merely, but Merely didn't turn on it, and now it's gonna be Bishops here trying to find something, and Merely trying to leave it for Parallax, but ends up bumping him. And now they're kind of panicky here on defense. And Parallax gonna send it out as it's gonna be popped up. Spork trying to take a shot, but can't. And here's Merely gets it past King Muff, and actually King Muff comes back, gets a touch on it, and now we're just kind of tied up in the midfield here as Parallax takes a shot, and that's gonna go in the back of the net. That's a great shot there by Parallax.
Definitely a good shot. Merely trying to get that touch, but unfortunately missing. But the Bishops put it up. Parallax was able to get up there and convert on it. Clamps was back, but he just couldn't react fast enough. He couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, now Ascension up 2-1. About half of the game left. Bishops now need a goal to have a chance in the series and not get eliminated. As Sky's gonna get it past the player that was supposedly last, but no one pushed up with Skies, so nothing really resulting from it. Is Sport gonna clear it out? Parallax finding a touch on it. And now merely gonna bang it out. But Spork's gonna be there. Demo on the goal line. Sky's gonna have to make a touch, and he does. Gonna bang it across is now King Muff finding a touch. Parallax getting it, and now merely finding a touch. Skies taking a shot, but saved out by Clamps. Now Ascension with some good pressure, but kind of resorting back to what they were doing earlier, just sending one player up at a time. But as I say that, two players commit, and they're gonna have to race back here. Merely finding the touch. Parallax, great 50. Actually an open net. Merely just kind of going up too far there.
Yeah, it looked like he might have just been waiting for one of his teammates to try and get it up to him. Probably the smart thing to do.
Yeah, now Skies sending it out, but King Muff's gonna put it back in. Spork putting off the backboard. Clamps trying to take a shot. It's gonna go off the crossbar. Spork trying now and merely doing his best, and you know, it somehow doesn't find the back of the net. I thought surely the Bishops were gonna tie this game up, but now 50 seconds left. It's still 2-1. Shot there. Skies with the great clear. Now 45 left. Bishops need something. That's gonna be a shot there. Touched out by Parallax. King Muff gonna try to do some of this, and that's nearly gonna be a shot, but it's gonna come back in. Save out by Skies. Oh my goodness. Just a ton of pressure now by the Bishops. Ascension making a ton of great saves, and now 20 seconds left. That's a great bump by Skies. King Muff unable to find the touch. Parallax getting a 50 with Clamps, but Clamps winning it. Trying to keep the pressure, but now merely sending it back in. Spork can find the touch, but now it's going to be nearly a shot there by Parallax, and merely's just going to stay off the backboard. Parallax is going to keep it back in. Clamps going to pop it up, and Spork going to have to keep this up. Right now it's looking like there's no hope, and that's going to be it. That's the series. Ascension will move on to play the Drakes on Wednesday.
Good series, good series. Good play, excuse me. Good play coming out from both teams right there. Especially that last game, you know, the Bishops really tried to turn it up and really tried to turn the momentum around. And they actually had one more shot on net than Ascension had, and almost, you know, matched them in saves, but unfortunately, you know, they dropped the ball a couple of times on some easy goals, and Ascension really just played really well in their half.
Yeah, definitely. Ascension playing extremely well that game. That last minute there was very intense, as there were so many shots on net there by Bishops, but none of them went in. And now Bishops gonna finish 5th place this season, and probably gonna be pretty disappointed coming in with the 4 seed, and yeah, just probably very disappointed.
It's definitely disappointing to, you know, have to bow out of the playoffs, having played these last 2 months and really putting your heart and your soul into trying to get there. Yeah, it feels bad. I feel bad for the Bishop, but I'm glad to see that Ascension moved on, and looking forward to see what they can do with the rest of their playoffs.
Yeah, but now we're gonna move on to our next matchup. We got Faded versus Origin. Should be a great one. Origin right now just on a tear, playing great in this latter half of the season, and Faded come in with a sub, so it should be intense, and we're gonna move on to that one. We'll see you all in a bit.